Greetings, Bapu family. Bapu, believe ambitiously, persevere opportunities outstandingly. Today's topic, the use of Patwah. Yes, I want to speak about the use of Patwah. Alright, Patwah, right? Patwah is seen as a Jamaican Creole. But if we look at Patwah holistically, we will understand that Patwah is a compilation of languages. So therefore, Patwah should be seen as out of many one people, Creole, or dialect, right? It should be seen as out of many one people, Creole, rather than Jamaican Creole. I have seen so many comments with regards to the use of Patwah. People were trampled on. People who used Patwah were trampled on. I saw a sister, a TikToker, Flor Cubana. Yeah, mucha love, yes. You know, she was trampled on because of her use of Patwah. They call it, or we call it Jamaican Creole. It is really out of many one people Creole, and it should be looked at as, a compilation of languages. So it should not be limited to anyone. It should not be limited to just Jamaican. And there are linguistic enforcers who believe that no one should use Patwah away from native Jamaican or Jamaican people who were born in Jamaica, which is not the right way to look at it. Look at Patwah, such dialect, as a compilation of languages, and it should not be limited to a people. I experienced similar situation in which quote-unquote native Spanish speakers who believe that as a born Jamaican should not be admin of a Spanish group, I experienced it that a Jamaican should not dare use the Spanish language. Such linguistic enforcer wish for me to speak Spanish or express myself in the Spanish language. It is great ignorance, when someone believes that Patwah should not be spoken by non-Jamaican. That is a wrong way of thinking, because if we look at it, Patwah is really a compilation of languages borrowed from words that were borrowed from other languages. So if we are going to look at it in a way that we believe that it is vulturistic for someone to use, a non-Jamaican to use Patwah, we have to look at it where the vulturism starts from. It is, if we look at things and from a honest place, it means that Patwah, there are several words that was extracted or borrowed from other languages. Yes, several words. So Patwah is really, look at it like a book. It is a compilation of languages from, so there are different words from different languages that were borrowed to create a unique dialect, right? To create this unique dialect, there has to be words from different, languages to form such dialect. So Patwah by itself, so for someone to really trample on a Jamaican per se, to trample on another person for the use of Patwah, it is very hypocritical, because Patwah by itself is really the extraction. Several is actually, so if you are Jamaican want to criticize a non-Jamaican or not a native, someone who is not a native Jamaican, who are not born in Jamaica, for the use of Patwah, it is nonsensical, because Patwah by itself is come about by borrowing words from other languages. Yes, so for all the linguistic enforcers who believe that non-Jamaican should not use Patwah, And native Spanish speakers who believe that a person who was not born in a Spanish-speaking country should not use the Spanish language. That's the wrong way of thinking. I saw a Norwegian sister complain about the same thing. She was disrespected for the use of Patwah. Patwah should not and cannot be limited to a people. Stop look at it as a Jamaican Creole and look at it out of many one people Creole. Because that the truth is that is where it come about. Big up to Miss Louise Bennett Coverley. You know, rest in peace. But it really come about as it is out of many one people. It's not a Jamaican Creole. People look at it as a Jamaican Creole. That means it is to Jamaica. So those Jamaicans should use such Creole. And if you dare use these enforcers, the linguistic enforcers, or the dialect enforcers, believe that if someone who is non-Jamaican, right, or either the person is a Jamaican, once you're not a Jamaican by birth, you should not use Patwah. What if other people were saying that you should not use words to form such dialect? We are going to take action. We don't want you to use words from our language to form such dialect. What if they were looking at things that way? How would Patwah come about? So there are less ignorant way of thinking. It is an ignorant way of thinking to believe that a person who was not born in Jamaica should not use Patwah. Flo Cubana, you know, enough love and respect. She's from Cuba. She lived in Jamaica for years, right? And she capitalized on the use of Patwah. She capitalized on it well. She expressed herself well, you know. So for people, ignorant Jamaicans who believe that, quote unquote, only people who were born in Jamaica should use Patwah, it is a wrong way of thinking. It is an ignorant way of thinking. Because again, don't look at Patwah as a Jamaican Creole, but rather out of many one people Creole. That's our motto, out of many one people. It wasn't coincidental. There's no coincidence why it is out of many one people, you know. That is how we come about. So post, you know, pre-independence, that is how we come up. It is really out of many one people. We were colonized by different, you know, groups, different people. So Patwah don't come, you know, should not be limited to our people. Any language, no language, as a matter of fact, a language should not be limited to a certain people who believe that because they are native, they were born in a Spanish, for example, they were born in a Spanish-speaking country, so no one else should use the Spanish language. What kind of enforcers, these linguistic enforcers, why they don't find something, you know, to do, rather than channeling such negative energy onto others? Save your negative comment, man. Don't keep it to yourself. Don't direct your negative energy to others. Can you imagine? I was disgruntled when I heard Flor Cubana, you know, mucha love. You know, the Cuban lady, Cuban Jamaican, you know, who represent us well, this businesswoman, etc. She was being disrespected by ignorant Jamaican who believe that she don't have the right to use Patwah. You know, these linguistic or dialect oppressors want to oppress people. Why she don't have the right to use Patwah? Patwah belong to quote unquote Jamaica. Hypocrisy. Oh, Patwah is like it is Jamaican Creole. Yes, it's spoken by Jamaican. But how does it come about? How does Patwah really come about? How it was formed? How Patwah come about in the first place? is the extraction and remove, or rather words were borrowed from different languages, so Spanish, Portuguese. In fact, a Jamaican, Bapu TV would like to state that a Jamaican should never, ever, ever be bothered or concerned about a Spanish-speaking person or a Spanish native use of Patwah. Because the truth is, if you look at the Patwah, there are several words that was removed. Let me use borrowed from Portuguese, from Spanish language. It was borrowed. Yeah, these words were borrowed from those languages. African, there are several words that are borrowed from different languages. So the Jamaican Creole is actually a compilation of languages where different words were removed or borrowed or extracted from different languages to come about with such Creole. It is not a Jamaican Creole, but out of many one people Creole. You are saying that it is limited. It should not be limited to just Jamaican. That's an ignorant way of thinking. Louis Bennett didn't have such way of thinking. Anyone should have. Louis Bennett brought the Patwah, to a level of acceptance globally. If Louis Bennett brings such thing to the world, it means that Louis Bennett didn't have such belief that Patwah should be limited just to Jamaican, because she brought it to the forefront, as a dialect that people all over the world should capitalize on. So I don't understand if Louis Bennett didn't have a problem with the use of such dialect, right? If she believed that, quote unquote, this is just a Jamaican, it's just a Jamaican Creole, it's out of many one people Creole. So to trample on someone because they were not, quote unquote, born in Jamaica, I find it very disrespectful. Very disrespectful and hypocritical. Because the person weren't born in Jamaica, it means that the person cannot use Patwah, cannot capitalize on the use of Patwah. The person is a citizen of Jamaica. Because you weren't born in a country, you cannot use the language of that country or the dialect of that such country. What kind of ignorant way of thinking? Why some Jamaicans have to think so ignorant? Such ignorant way of thinking. Why some Jamaicans have to capitalize on such way of thinking? Linguistic oppressors or dialect oppressors want to oppress people, don't want people to feel free, freedom of speech to express themselves in whatever language or whatever dialect they wish to use. You don't own any language. Why people always want to own things, want to show some form of ownership? Why people always have this way, want to own things and believe that this belongs to me? You should not dare use such language. You should not dare use such dialect because it is it belongs to us. So again, I will implore that Jamaicans look at it this way. Patwah is not, let me say it, look at Patwah in the sense that Patwah is a Jamaican Creole. Look at Patwah as out of many one people Creole, and that is what Miss Louis Bennett Coverley was tried. The so many years, of sacrifice and to bring about that it's not a Jamaican Creole, but rather out of many one people Creole. She brought it to the world. She want the world to gravitate to such dialect, to accept such dialect. So, for people to really trample on others who capitalize on the use of Patwah, I find it very disrespectful. The Norwegian sister was disrespected. Flor Cubana, my Cuban sister, she was disrespected because of ignorance. Patwa don't belong to Jamaica. Jamaican, yeah, it's a Jamaican Creole. But look at how the other people could be looking at it the same way and say, okay, then why are you vulturizing our language? Why are you removing words, using words from our language to form your such dialect, such unique way of communication? Why are you removing, you shouldn't take this word from our language? Why are you doing this? So I just don't understand why these people so bothered. They're so unhappy to the point of having a problem if someone use Patwah. Or yeah, people who are bothered, by the use of Spanish and non-native. You're a person who wasn't born in a Spanish-speaking country, dare not use the word a Spanish capitalized on the Spanish language. Particularly a Jamaican should not be the admin of a group in Cuba, should not be the admin of a group in Colombia. Yes. All over, yeah, people have certain issues. Like a Jamaican should not be the admin of a group in Moscow, Russia. So people all over the world have problem with different things because of this whole belief that you're not, once you're born in a country, you shouldn't be in leadership position, you shouldn't capitalize on the language, you shouldn't use the culture, capitalize on such culture because you are not a part. This whole is like, this whole division. Language is not limited to a people. Everyone should be free to use whatever language, capitalize whatever language they so choose. At times I capitalize on the use of Swahili. I like Swahili, to use Swahili as well, and if Chinese, a little French, I use whatever I want to use. Yes. So at times when I wish to communicate certain things, I may use, NATO's phonetic alphabet, Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, etc. Different ways of communication. One should not be limited to just a language, their language of birth, their language that they grew up speaking. You should not be limited to a language. You are free to learn whatever language you wish to learn, and I believe it is of utmost importance that people learn different languages to be able to communicate, to interact with different people all over the world. So I will encourage, stop Jamaicans. I will just look, Bapu TV will send a warning or send this message. I implore that Jamaicans, trample on hate, embrace love, trample on negativity, embrace positivity. Stop, trampling on others because they use Patwah. Patwah is not limited to Jamaican. It is a out of many one people dialect. And perhaps they need to just remove this Jamaican Creole and instead out of many one people Creole to change the mindset of a lot of Jamaicans who believe that yes, we are alone. We are born Jamaicans. I was born in this country as well, even though a lot of people don't believe that I am a born Jamaican. I am. I was even I was in a group and someone messaged me on Messenger and asked me, "Are you a Jamaican? Well, where are you from?" And I said Jamaica. And this person believed that I was about some computer program because I was lying. And I was saying, yes, I'm a Jamaican. Because once people don't understand something, they just readily judge and try to just come with their own thing. And yes, because I said I was a Jamaican. Because I am a Jamaican, I cannot capitalize on the use of other languages fluently. I cannot express myself in whatever language I wish to express myself in, or dialect. Boy, I don't know. So we have some sad people living in this world, There are some sad people living in this world. I believe that they should just tickle themselves every now and then, because such sadness, I don't believe they can even smile. Capitalize and use, tickle yourself, man, because it's only a sad individual, would believe that other people cannot use a language, you know. So Bapu TV, embrace love, champion hate, embrace positivity, champion negativity. To believe ambitiously, perceive opportunities outstandingly. I'm out.